bit of a situation over here. It's not looking good. Hang on, Mama, I'll be right there. Now the chase begins. So when she was twisted up like that, obviously she's in distress. So at least she got herself up, walked in here. She's not having a good night, and we're gonna make it much worse for her. But it'll be better in the end, girl. This will be her 4th lambing, so it's not like it's the first time. She's pretty big. She's got a few in her, I'm hoping. 2 nice big ones. Well, we'll find out here. So I can feel both feet there. They're pretty big feet. They are front feet, that's good. Concern is, oh, his nose is there too. I think they're just big lambs. Want to show the camera here? I don't know if you can see, but there's 2 feet, and there's a nose right there. I'll try and get her out. All right, hey buddy. Hey. Hey buddy. So you rub them up good, stick your finger in their nose or their nostrils, airways, try and stimulate the airflow, get them to start breathing. That's key. This guy's big, so it was a tough go for her. And if she's pawing the ground like that, she's getting ready to find a spot, lay down, and have a second one here. Probably asking me to leave. Doesn't feel comfortable with me here, but they do forget about their lambs pretty easily. So I'd like her to see him, start licking them. That's what you want. These guys were born a couple hours ago. Orphans are tucking themselves in for the night. I just got birthing fluid all over my camera, which is really good. This guy's not breathing great. I might give him a little bit of a hand. He's trying to take some breaths, but he's not getting any traction here. He was a pretty tough pull. His feet, I think he was kind of hunched like this. So instead of coming out with his feet extended, he was kind of crunched up. Any little complication can compound. So trying to make sure, yeah, she's tired. Any kind of little complication can add up and create other issues. So just to stay here a little bit longer, make sure that he gets breathing, that's pretty key. So he's starting to come alive here. He was pretzeled in there pretty good. Kind of had a hard start to life, but having his mother there cleaning him off so well, getting him stimulated, that's pretty perfect. Good job, mother. I'm a little worried what else is in there. She doesn't look great. But I've got enough chores in the barn here to keep me busy for a bit, and I'll keep an eye on her. So I'm a little bit worried here.
Suddenly, it occurred to me, I'm needing sheep. It's the only thing for me.
I ran in for a little bit, and she had the other 2, and one didn't make it. At least the other 2 look good. Still pretty disappointed about this loss. It was preventable as far as I'm concerned. It's late at night. I was tired, I didn't have supper. I went in for supper. I should have reached in and pulled the lambs out beforehand. Tried to just give her some time, but at least she's got 2 nice healthy lambs, and I'll make a note of that for next year. The lambs are a little bit slow looking, and I'm gonna go get her some fresh bedding here now. She's made quite a mess. But by slow looking, I mean they're just kind of stiff, like they've been in there pretzeled up for a while, and that's probably the case. It's not the best note I wanted to end the day on, but hey everyone. Nice, quiet, refreshing morning here so far. Everyone's settled. No new lambs, no craziness. Get some sheep that are sleeping. So as the second group starts, I have to start a new orphan pen. These guys are the leftover orphans from the previous round, and I can't put them together because they're at least 10 days older than the newest of the second group. So I'll make a new orphan pen, which is what I'm gonna do right now. I might take the smallest 1 or 2 out of this pen, put them in here for now. Then they can help the new lambs kind of figure out the program. If you have a couple that know what's happening, it makes it so much easier. And then the other thing that I'll do to make sure I know group 1 lambs from group 2, I painted all these first group lambs blue, and I will switch to green paint for this second group. So we already had one set of triplets. I did put him in the orphan pen just for now while I'm getting this set up. But I do like having modular panels where you can adjust things and move things around as you need to. Makes things just a lot easier. So I've been having problems with these nipple buckets. The nipples on the bottom, there's 6 on each pail. This is the ball valve assembly that's on the inside of it. There's a little ball in there. When the lamb is not sucking, it stops the milk from rushing out the nipple. But there's a few different components to it that can cause problems. This rubber O-ring wears out and then it will leak. This goes on the inside of the bucket, and then this nut threads on and the nipple seats on the inside of that. So I bought a couple new buckets, and you can see the valve is leaking here on 2 of them. And from what I can figure, I think the holes were cut wrong. So I just fill them with clean water, sort of, so I'm not wasting milk, and just keep trying to change things or tighten it until I can get it to stop leaking. But I'm not having much success this morning. So I've got 4 buckets going. I started a new orphan pen here. Number 3 is from the first group, or the second group. These 2 are experienced, so they should help him out. And this bucket is leaking slightly. So the problem with that is you mix a nice big bucket of milk and then you got to pour it all out again because the nipples are leaking. So I'm going to go through and keep adjusting, maybe swap some valve assemblies out, see if I can get these things to stop leaking because I really need more buckets going. And of course, as per usual, sheep are being sheep. They knocked the water hose out of the tank this morning while I was walking back to the house, and they flooded this corner out, so that was really good to see. There, so in that case, I think this valve assembly is worn out, or the threads were made wrong. Something's just not right. The other thing that I'm wondering is if I bought a batch of nipples that had this edge is a little bit too thick, maybe the mold was wrong or something, but they just aren't seating properly. Well, I spent quite a bit of time this morning trying to figure out why all the nipple jugs are leaking. I went to town and bought a bunch of new nipples yesterday, placed a bunch this morning, and then everything started leaking. That's really handy. So I've narrowed it down. I don't know how well you can see it here. But the base of the nipple on the new nipples I have is like a couple millimeters thicker. So when I screw the nut on for the valve, it won't seat the whole thing tight against the plastic and it leaks. I don't know if the mold was wrong or something happened, but every nipple I bought new is like that. So I will phone the company that sells these, try and get to the bottom of that. Now I have a problem, I don't have any backup. But of course it's Friday afternoon, so no one's gonna be able to ship me anything, and we might just have to get busy mixing milk this weekend. Just grinding some grain here. It's a pretty simple setup I've got. Like I showed you earlier, I put all my whole barley in there, then I just run it through my grinder and up the auger into the other bin. If I had a longer auger extension on my mix mill, I could reach right into this bin. But I've been looking for one and I haven't found one yet. So this system works okay. Well, we're well in the swing on number 2. Just had a nice set of twins there right now. Getting a little bit of odd coloring this group. Don't quite understand it. Usually I know I have one ram that throws black lambs every odd time. Well, this is probably like the 5th or 6th all black lamb I've had. I kind of like them. I think they're really cool. But we'll get these guys in their jugs here right away. When ewes have lambs on them, their nutritional requirement goes up significantly. And I keep bumping up the ration to find that sweet spot, but they keep yelling at me that it's not enough. I've sourced out some nice quality alfalfa silage bales from a friend of mine. I think we're gonna try adding that to the ration. I can just keep increasing all the other ingredients if I need to, but I'm a little concerned I'm gonna run out of barley silage. But my strategy hinges more on not providing as much creep as feeding the ewes to the absolute T while they have lambs on them. That seems to make a bit more of an economic difference, so I wean a little bit later, and then a little bit closer to weaning, I'll start increasing their creep. Right now, they're just getting ground barley, and there's not much nutritional requirements in that. If I can get the ewes fed top-notch feed and doing really well on it, then that translates into milk, which translates into lamb development.
I'm needing sheep I need sheep. 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 I need sheep.
I have a couple downfalls with my mixer. It's very big for what I need. Realistically, should have enough feed in it to feed, you know, 600 sheep. So I only run half full loads through it. And the problem with that is right now, it's not a very bulky ration, so it doesn't mix the best. But when I do have wrapped bales and a bulkier type ration, and then it mixes really nice. It'd be nice to have a smaller mixer for this size, but then when I increase the sheep, I would need a bigger mixer. So I make it work for now. So I put some more fresh straw out. It's a whole lot nicer when it stays a little bit cooler out. It's a pretty beautiful sunset out here though. When it gets too warm, it gets too muddy. Just trying to ride as many colder days as I can before spring sets in, and hopefully it sets in for good. They're enjoying it.
Blah.